folks, back again for hopefully finishing up the rest of these. Our next question comes from Stephen Hershkowitz. And it says, Dear Dr. Groovy, is breakfast really the most important meal of the day? I say yes, from me. 9 out of 10 times it's going to be oatmeal. And you got to get things moving in the old pooper. So, very important. The rest of it, whatever happens that day. But stay regular, folks. Stay regular. Dale Cannon says, you are always groovy. Thank you, my friend. Oh, see, let me see how long this one here is. Somebody got greedy. Teller 3448 says, here's a bunch of questions. I'll answer them. 6 questions, yeah. Should parents give their kids a hearing test before purchasing an instrument for them? I mean, testing for pitch sensitivity, recognizing the same interval with several different note combinations. People with perfect pitch, very common in Japan, seem to be able to learn any instrument by ear. Good question. Not that I know the answer, because I don't know the answer. I have not been a person who has delved into this whole thing. Didn't know it was common in Japan. So you're teaching me more than I could possibly teach you on that one, my man. Number 2, how deeply was organized crime involved with the country music business in the 70s and 80s? Probably as much as it was involved with anything. Organized, God, I can't say that I know, but in the 70s and 80s with the country music business, there were definitely some goings on that weren't so much legal, or not as legal as people would have liked it to have been. Okay, you just got to think about the artists that were around back then. You know, certain ones. It was definitely not hard to tell between those who had doings and who didn't. Just check their records, and I'm not allowed to rat out the ones that I know about or who have partaken with. Okay? Because there are some of those too. Okay. Number 3 said, I know you dislike Gibson, but if they made you chief engineer, similar to 1, what changes would you make to the design of their flagship models? Yeah, that one I kind of answered, saying I would just take Gibson and sell the whole thing, burn it to the ground, so nobody could ever have it again. What changes would I make to the design of their flagship models has already been done. It was during their, we're going to try something new era, and everybody hated it. They were putting nice neck carves on the back of the Les Pauls and so forth. They're splitting all the humbuckers. They're doing everything like that. They're doing all kinds of cool things, and this is right before they got sold off again. When everybody thought they sucked horribly, and that was because they got their core models screwed with. So I would have done what pissed everybody off, but I come to realize I would actually just close it down. Question number 4. I see Gene Simmons' name. Why are there no bass guitar groupies? Putting Gene Simmons aside for a moment. Good question. I'll answer that truthfully. I think and it includes Gene, is that the majority of bass players are goofy as hell looking. They're either extremely tall and wear their bass down to their knees, or wear their bass up underneath their chin like this. And they're just always the goofiest looking guy in the band. There's always going to be a little short fat guy like me. There's always going to be the good looking dude. There's always going to be the drummer. And then that weird looking bass player that looks like your teacher from shop class or whatever. I don't know why. There's just something strange looking about all of them, except for maybe Kip Winger. I think some girls were after him. Paul McCartney, I guess the girls were after him. But yeah, go look at any local band, and that dude's going to be a goofy looking son of a bitch. That's my thought. They're just, for some reason, and goofy people are drawn to the bass guitar. I don't know what it is. Goofy looking people. Number 5, can you list your top 3 guitar tone disasters in some popular recordings? Great songs. They want me to list top tone disasters on popular recordings. Just great song, bad tone. I'm going to say, yeah, really easy. I don't even have to pick out the songs so much. Here you go. Sorry, some of you. Anything by the Beatles, bad guitar tones. Harrison had the worst tones of all time. Let's see. Can I do another generalization like that? God, there are others. I just thought of one and I spaced it just a second ago. Hendrix. Bad tones, all of them. I gotta go that way. It's that way. And what's that? There's this bass tone, and it's on one of the most popular songs ever. I don't know if it's We Like to Funk. It's like We Like to Funk. I think that's it. The worst thing that drives me crazier than any other tone of any instrument of any song ever. Just these dead strings, and I know it has to be a P bass or a Gibson EBO. It's just the worst thing anybody ever put out. And then the last one. Does using too many tracks ruin the recording process? The Beatles used 8 tracks at most and have never been surpassed. Like I said, Beatles had the worst tones ever as far as I'm concerned. No, more the better as far as I'm concerned. That way you get choices and choices and choices of 1,000 things that may or may not work, but at least they're on a track, so you have choices. You have part of a solo that works, then you need another part of a solo that works, another one, and then you zip them all together. Sometimes you just need that, because I've heard so many stories and been in so many situations where it just works that way. It's like, that was a great part, this one is a great part, copy this over here, paste it before that part, and so forth. So what actually ends up on the recording, I can't say there's too many that can be used. So I'm in that boat. Let's see, what is this? somebody else already answered your number 4 question about why there's no bass groupies. The person called The Collective said, I disagree with your assertion in question number 4. That one, I can promise you they do exist, bass groupies. Okay, here's Michael Reyes. Says, Scott, you have to do something with Phil McKnight. I know you guys have spoken about possibly before, but introduce some new viewers to you. Okay, that's the thing. Okay, so Philip McKnight's going to help me. It's actually not going to help me. What is going to happen there, which I've already been told, is apparently I can't supposedly control myself in public, so I would have to be put on his spare channel, which has like 12 videos on it that nobody watches, so I would have to be on that. So I have no interest in being on the bad boy you can't not cuss on. It's like, what makes you think I have to cuss on every fucking video I do? I know how to behave, so there's that. And I don't need his help to get more viewers. I like the guy fine. I'm just saying, within the context of the question, I don't need him. I'll be happy with my ones that actually already like me. Okay, we have a weird name, Cliff 23232. First of all, thank you for being you and not a sellout. What is your choice on bridges? Hey, you're welcome for not selling out on crap that don't make you rich, but it makes you honest, keeps you even-headed. Choice on bridges. Okay, I put one on one of my axes back here, and I should have them on all my guitars. Babbitt's. They should be on every guitar ever made. Babbitt's bridges. Everything. They're just that flipping cool. Okay, now we have... Okay, there's another one with the main questions. Baron Guitar. Hello, Dr. Groovemeister. What do you prefer, the Johnson JM150 or the 250 head? Stay groovy. From the Bear. Okay, I like the 150, the combo. Not just for that reason. I've dumped all my presets from the combo to the 250, and it actually reacts really weird and just sounds nothing like the 150. Whereas I take a bunch of 150s and I put my patches, same wave, via just a regular MIDI cable and do a dump into another, dump from one to the other 150, and everything comes out perfect. So for that reason alone, the 250 head just hasn't impressed me. I don't know why it won't read correctly. He also asked, what's the deal with 7.5 radius, like the Fender originals, the vintage stuff. They have the most curve on the front of the fingerboard than other axes. I've got a guitar which is that way, which is my Pink Paisley Strat, and it's my favorite guitar. People say that, and you can ask John Mayer, he uses them, but people say that they fart out too much if you try to bend a string up. I've never had that problem. I bend strings more than anybody probably, other than pedal steel players, but they don't have a fretboard or a fingerboard to worry about. So I have zero problem with the radius. I find it very comfortable. Same guy, could you make a confession video detailing your most secret affairs and knowledge, and scheduled to air it on YouTube What? I can't. Oh, posthumously, like a final memoir, like a dead man switch. Could I make a kid? Oh, well, I shouldn't answer that on here if I was going to, should I? Somebody did a video for me already and said that I was dead. It was breaking news and all that stuff. It was a very good video, and so many people going around saying, wow, he did die. That's amazing. It's like, what a good video it was. I can't believe it's taken off. I do have a copy of it, though, but that's all I'll say on that. It wasn't me detailing anything, but it was, he actually came up with another YouTuber who actually killed me, and also, you know, and they put his picture on there, and it was beautiful. Let's see. Same guy again. Last one. Hello, Dr. Groovy. What is it like getting older? That one I've answered. It sucks. Could you describe your life summed up in 10-year intervals? Yes. Little Dr. Groovy, teenage Dr. Groovy, how was it in your 20s, 30s, etc.? Let's see. The first 10 years. I remember starting when I was about 5, of course, like everybody. You don't remember anything before that. Did get my first guitar when I was 9. That's the first time anything mattered, really. So that was about it. Nothing from birth until 9 years old made any difference until the guitar came along. Teenage Dr. Groovy, hey, it was only 4 years beyond that, and I got to start playing live, so that was a beautiful thing. And just going to school, playing gigs, going to school, playing gigs, sometime going to school, playing, still graduated. I was in my teens, still playing 7 nights a week, and twice on Sundays, 2 different gigs. Had to tear down and then go set up on the tennis courts at this hotel, and then go set up in the lounge and play another whole round of sets. First time somebody called me Mister. Hey, Mister. It was a kid in the pool. I bet shit. Had a lot of promiscuity going. Even had a 24-year-old gal with a kid wanting me to marry her and live with her, and blah blah blah. So we hightailed town pretty quick and went out and got a whole lot more. There's teenage Dr. Groovy. School Dr. Groovy was not a popular man. Did nothing but play guitar. Other people in the band were doing extra activities, you know, playing in school band, playing football, doing all that stuff. Not me. Guitar. 20s on the road, sexing it up. 30s on the road, sexing it up. 40s in the marriage I'm in now, and wasn't too long into it, I got sick as all shit, and nothing has changed since then. So that's summed up. Okay, so we got Jim Shepard. Don't sum up the bass runs yet. I'm just getting started. Or don't give up the bass runs yet. Okay, of course. Do plenty of bass lessons. I'm enjoying doing those too. Just didn't know how many people were giving a crap. So if you're still into them, and anybody else is, let me know, and I'll continue that. We got Fire Dog 1791. How about another great used guitar series, or buying used guitars video? I can do that. There's not a ton left, but I did some for you people who didn't know it, where I would actually go back and show guitars that were worth buying that people didn't know about, and all of a sudden all those went through the roof. They wouldn't do so probably as much now because nobody knows who I am. Whereas if other people did, then they would go through the roof. So maybe I could get you guys into some guitars and not have them be out of your range. So yeah, I can go ahead and do some more of those. We have Daniel Weavers. Hey Scott, longtime fan from England. Would you do a video of stories from all the years on the road? The road stories. Thank you for all the videos. That, as a young 22-year-old guitar player, have influenced me hugely and broadened my musical vocabulary, both in the terms of what I play and what I listen to. Best wishes from the UK. Let me see which part I wanted to get to. See, where is it? Oh, all the stories on the road. Yeah, I'll have to write some of those particular ones down, and I'll definitely do a video on those. They're fun. I'll have to get the pictures out again and at least post some of those to go along with them. We have from David. I can't pronounce the rest of it. Damir. I know that's wrong. Daminer. Says Scott. Did you do a video of guitar moves? Spinning the guitar, shaking the guitar, twirling the guitar, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I did. I remember watching it, but I can't seem to find it. Can you please share that link to YouTube, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I did that video, and it was a paid video. It was called, or it is, people still buy it. So you must have bought it or seen it from somebody who bought it. Guitar for Posers was that one. I put out two at the same time. One was for Guitar for the Guitarded and Guitar for Posers. But the poser ones actually had all the different literal poses that you could do, and that was, how to actually get it swung around your back, how to do it over your head, how to put them underneath your between your legs and actually do it cool, and how to actually act like you're banging your axe and blah blah blah. And a lot of cool stuff, the flipping, throwing them around your neck or your back and so forth like that. But that's where that one's at. It's still available via download or DVD, what have you. So that's on groovymusiclessons.com under the electric guitar page, electric guitar lessons page. Let's see. Lee A. Good day, sir. Good day back at you. Do you still have the custom-built David Anderson 32 guitar? Let's see. Yes, I just actually broke that one out just a few minutes ago. I don't know if you saw it, but it was on. It's actually right there, black and white stripe. Ta-da! But I broke it out and got a close-up on here just a couple of videos ago. We got Gil Lamb. No question at the moment, only a comment. Yes, you were the first and best on YouTube. You started it all. The only reason we made usernames was to get notifications for your videos and to comment on your videos. Plus, you did it for the love and passion of music and gear, not for money or fame. You the man. No one will ever reach your standards and talent. Scott Grove started it all. Love you, bro. Man, you rock. Got a few thumbs up on that too, and you got me one of these hands. What do you call them? Emojis. You can tell how much I know about things like that. I've used the same flip phone for 15 years and just had to get a real phone a couple months ago, so I'm having trouble adapting, and I don't know how to do emojis. He's got a thumb up on one of these. See, I know what an eggplant is, but I don't know where to find any of these things. Here's Tempo 1889. That's a fast tempo. But dear Scott, I know you are probably still cursing the day that Slash was born. My question is, What are your thoughts of Dimebag Darrell, formerly of Pantera, and Damage Plan? In your eyes, was he a good guitarist? Yeah, yeah, he was actually something to contend with. Enjoyed some of the stuff because he had the link on his axe to Kiss, via the decal or painting, whichever it was, on the front of his Dean axe. Um, so, and I know he had some Washburns done up the same way, but had the Kiss logo on there. Not the logo, but the pictures off their first album, which got me to listening to him. So yeah, he was actually a great guitarist, and I felt the pain when he was shot in the flipping head. Oh, my next question is: for many years I have heard what I believe to be a rumor, and that is Gibson used real silver flakes in the silver burst in their paint. I believe that it was Tool, the guitarist from Tool, Adam Jones, who stated this. Like I said, it sounded like a rumor to me or something he made up just to make it up. I figured since you're the doctor, you would know. I wish I did know. I heard the same thing recently on Trogley's show about some gold top. I don't know if it was all of them because there were so flippin' many, but he may have mentioned something about the silver as well, but I don't think he ever came to a conclusion. And if anybody would know, it'd be him instead of me when it comes to Gibson. So that'd be the guy to research that one through. I honestly, I don't know. I wish I did. I hate to not have answers, but I don't have them all. That's for sure. Here's T-Bone. Question: can I have one of your guitars? Yeah. Yes, you can. Let's see. Yes, yes, you can. Okay. Here's Baron again. If you were in prison about to get the electric chair, wrongly accused, of course, what would be your A, last meal, and B, last words? Let's see. My last meal would be either PB&J or chicken Kiev. Last words. I heard this on Family Guy, and I think it would have to be my last word too. The word would be moist. Moist. I like it. Well, my eye is just going. So we have either Steven or Stefan. Steven. I'm sure it's probably Steven. Hi Scott, big fan. What I would like to know is when people post how many or how to play songs, etc., why don't they include amp settings and tone pedals and so forth? I watch, learn, and play, but it doesn't sound like the song in tones. More of a bitch, really, more of a bitch, really. Keep it up, brother. Or mate, he says. Sorry about the eyeball thing, kids. Now that's a easy one to answer and a hard one to toss out there because I don't want to offend anybody or offend. But as far as amp settings, it's never good or wise or anything to ask for or to go anywhere with amp settings, because you're not going to have the same amp as anybody else. If you had the exact same amp as them, you could probably ask for amp settings, but that would only matter if you had the exact same guitar as them, and if you knew exactly where their knobs were when they recorded it on your guitar. So it's like my volume was at 7, my first tone was at 4, my other tone knob was at 7. So no two amps are set up the same. None are going to sound, if you had where the bass, the mids, and trebles were, it would make no difference on amp 1 or amp 2. They would sound completely different. No matter what amps they are, they're just not going to sound the same. So there's no reason to ever ask somebody their amp settings, or even really what pedals they were using, because those are going to be different as well. I've heard tube screamers that sound great. I've heard so many that sound shit, and on the best amps around, and there's just such variables between every amp and every pedal and every guitar that asking for any information on them from somebody who has a tone that you like, it's not going to matter. It really won't. I appreciate everything that you said, though. Thank you. We got Anthony Moon. Oh, from back home, it's AJ from Eagledale. It's where my dad lives. It's over by Speedway, Indiana, right by the Indy 500. What is the best cheap way to record video and audio in my music room for a dumb motherfucker like me? Using an iPhone, or what equipment should I get? Love this channel. Well, if you like this channel, I'll tell you how I do it, and it is stupid. And I don't get the best sound, that's for damn sure. I've got, I think, over a dozen mixers, and I don't use any of them for doing this. I use this Sony Handycam. Everybody else uses like a flipping movie camera, and I just use the microphone that's on here to pick up everything. I don't run microphones on guitar cabinets. I don't have a microphone on me, nothing like that. When I stand back here when I'm doing something, the voice level's so low you can barely hear me, and then when I get close like this, then it's fine. But what I do is I actually just use this laptop I have sitting right here, dump all my audio, video all at once, it's all one thing, onto the computer. I put it all together in Windows Movie Maker, and then I take the other thing is in the same computer. It's a program called Shotcut. It's on your computer if you have a PC. Shotcut, I put the finished video in there after I've edited it on the Movie Maker. I put it in there, and I just take off the audio into an MP3 file, sound file, and then I mute the audio, or actually take the whole thing out of Movie Maker, put it back on Movie Maker, mute that original audio. I take the audio and run it through Audacity, which you can download for free. I put it through there. I simply do a noise reduction on the entire track. Just double click the track that pops up, do a noise reduction on the whole thing. Then I run a compressor on the whole mix. Then I run the compressor again, and it brings all the high points, loud parts down, but it brings all the soft shit when I'm back there. It brings it up so people can actually hear it. So everything is within this, range, and it makes it all sound fine. Not great, but it sounds fine for what I do. So that's all I do, brother. No gear needed, just the laptop and the camera. That's all I use. Nothing else. So if you like what I'm getting, that's the cheapest way to do her. And otherwise, if you like I said, if you like the product, then it's about as cheap as you can get. Okay, we got Keith Clark. Do you have a B-bender guitar? And have you ever had a B-bender guitar? I currently do not have one, and the last one I had was an acoustic. It was a Washburn Forest Lee model acoustic electric, and it had one on it. Why I got rid of it is only because there was something that wouldn't let it. It's not that it wouldn't stay in tune, it's that it wouldn't stay in tune. There was something inherently wrong with the guitar itself. It would come back in tune a couple times, then it would somehow catch somewhere and it'd be off. Then you do it again and then it might come back in. It's like, so it was just like catching somewhere, and it was beyond what I could locate inside there, and it looked like a very simple mechanism in there, but I couldn't find out where it was catching at, so I just dumped the guitar. That's it. Let's see. We got Hefty 100 said, how did your views drop so much? I was here a long time ago, way before Ask Anything, and I asked, and now all I have to say is thank you. Yeah, views dropped because two reasons. One, I became slightly normal, and two, that's meaning I'm not doing all the dumb motherfucker videos, and I can't remember the last time I cussed on a video except for these. I quit being so controversial and quit doing reviews. And plus also all these other people came out, and people like cookie cutter channels. Everybody found out how to make money because I told them how to do it, and they did it, and apparently did it better. They weren't as annoying as me. The big people that are making the big money and stuff are, of course, monetized, which I just started doing less than a year ago. But all the big channels start out that way, that are big channels now. And I never did during my heyday. And most of the people that are watching these things are kids. And they all want to see the same stuff. It's like, I want a glary guitar. I want the cheapest thing I can get. What can I get for $69? That's just as good as a $6,900 guitar. And people will do videos like that. They'll do, here's the most expensive Gibson Les Paul ever made, and we're going to compare it to the cheapest Epiphone Les Paul ever made. And everybody makes that video. It's like, retarded, but everybody makes that video. Let's see, we have Chuck U. Farley. Says, Groovy, Dr. Groovy, TalkBox? I don't think I've ever seen you comment on them. If you use one, can you show some cool licks using one? Yes, on the TalkBox. Yes, did one video. Yes, did I know I did a ukulele through a wah. I don't know if I did the ukulele through the TalkBox. But yeah, I'll definitely. Oh, I did. Yeah, I did have a whole video on here of cool licks to do with wah. I forgot about that. Yes, I have one on here. Just go to my page, where all my videos are listed at, and do a search. Or just put Scott Grove wah, W-A-H, and it should just show right up one of 2 or 3 videos and it'll show you just cool licks for a while. I forgot about that. Yes, that has been done. Here's my buddy Michael Walters, played with many bands. I'm heading your way the end of September, probably spend a day or two in Vegas, which I hope I get to see him. I hope you get some dumb motherfucking questions. Too funny. Person here asked the question. It says his name is God by One and God by, and it stops. Okay? It says, what is the fastest land mammal? That'd be the cheetah. The cheetah. Doing 60 to 65 miles an hour. Anyway, that was it last I heard. Let's see. Nick Pagakis. Room cleaning tips for healthy guitars. Oh man, I can't give them to you. I live in the desert. There's nothing but sand, sand, sand. You would think I would clean the room. No, I don't. My wife cleans the floor sometimes, but the only thing I do is I dust off and sometimes use some little bit of water on a guitar cleaning rag just every time I pick a guitar up. So therefore I try to use different guitars all the time when I pick them up if I can, and that way they get a little bit of residue taken off of them, but some of these have a good 1/4 inch of dust on them. So that's it from me, my friend. Otherwise, keep them in a case, but I don't advise keeping anything in their case. Don't store them that way, especially if they're nitro finished. Okay, let's see. Billy Bob Hammer, come on, take a big tone wood victory lap. That's great. Curtis says, the bodies were strewn for miles. That's great. Okay, we're actually getting through this. From Paul Turley, it says, hi Scott, can you teach someone to play that has a bad pinky finger? Yes, I have done many of those. A lot of people write to me and they're missing a particular finger, and it's never been a problem. If you just learn to play normally, and if there's just going to be things that you have to adjust. As far as regular chords go, you could play all the chords without a pinky, but you can't do all the fun stuff, all the embellishments, all the suspended stuff, but you have to try to find a different way. Like you can make a D chord, of course, with your first finger barred across the 2nd fret, and then your middle finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, and then use your ring finger to try to get some of the suspended stuff, but it's not easy with the pinky missing. You would think it would be easier with the pinky missing than others. I know you have a bad pinky finger and it's not missing, but it's missing in action as far as playing. So it's rough, but you can do it and do it pretty well. As far as playing lead, there's zero problem. None. I don't play lead with my pinky finger involved at all. Never once. And I'll say 90% of the time I don't use my middle finger either when it comes to playing lead at all. 10% of the time I'll toss it in there now and then, but it's just my first finger and my ring finger that does everything when it's lead playing time. But for chords, it's just going to take some self-configurating, reconfigurating, and then trying to utilize your ring finger in place of your pinky. But it can be done. It has been done. Let's see. We have Paulo Alicio, country groove bass, please. You got it. I'll be glad to do that. Let's see, we have Gary Julius, or Julius, one way or the other. Shit, I'm always watching. Take care, buddy. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, Gary. Appreciate that. Let me see. Wow, I can actually see the bottom of this. Let Arts Live says, the end will come for all of us someday. I have a Jackson Dinky guitar, China one, and I can put a hardtail on the Floyd Rose because I can't stand. Oh, and can I put a hardtail? That's another question I had. Maybe it was. Can't stand the Floyd Rose cutting off strings. I took it apart to clean it and I can't get it to go back together. The Floyd Rose, I don't like them because they never stay in tune. I love the Floyd Roses because they stay in tune. Like nobody's business. I can't say that there's anything that stays in tune as well as them. Ibanez makes one that's pretty decent. Kahlers don't, if they have the nut behind, or their locking nut behind the nut. So a double locking, you know, where you have the Floyd Rose type of nut is the only way to go, and double locking is the only way to go, whereas the Kahlers don't do that. They just fit the ball end in a slot. So to make a hardtail out of it, I had told somebody earlier, but just push it down, put a piece of flipping wood up in there, and then let it go and let it slam against that damn thing. You can do part of a roll of coins if you want, stick it back there, and tighten all the screws down all the way in the back of there, and it'll be as hardtail as any hardtail could be. So that's the way to take care of that. At least you'll have fine tuners at the back of your bridge. You don't have to use your locking system at the top. You can just take those off. Don't lose them, but you can take those off and everything will be just fine. John Wall says, hi Scott, ask Scott anything. Okay. I struggle with stupid bar chords. Any chance of some cheap bar chords, just a couple of the most common ones in songs, so I can get past that roadblock and play a few more songs that have the odd bar chord in there that sounds similar to what he's already learned. A cheap B bar chord on the 2nd fret. I use it a lot now in songs like I Shot the Sheriff, yeah. And for example, it would be good to learn a few more things. Okay, bar chords. My guess is going to be, okay, you learned this one for the B, I'm thinking, or, okay, so you've got one already down. What you did for the B is what you'll do for the C and the D, and that'll be about it, or C sharp or D sharp or E flat, same thing. Anyway, so yeah, if you're doing this, of course all the way up, if you're doing that. Okay, and of course if you're playing trying for the regular bar chords, of course you can always do just a power bar chord, okay, leaving out the G string. If you want a bar chord or a chord to take its place like you were mentioning, just play an F chord, okay, just take the F, move it up, there's G, A, B, C, so like that. So that's what I would do. I would just, on building off the A string, make those chords or this, and But up here, just play F chords or power chords and work on getting your middle finger in there. Okay, so that's my advice for a quickie. Now, guitar, stay. Stay. Good dog. Okay, we have TRT space RL. Superfly. That's all it says. See, because I pronounce everything. I've all the moves. Hey, I got it right. It's not on there like you guys would think, but I got it. It's not spelled correctly. It just says, I like your beard. Thanks, man. Tracy Parton, Ginger or Marianne? Marianne all the way. All the way. All the flippin' way. Little country gal. Okay, somebody here's got the right answer. Rusty, he asked, how about people with arthritis in their hands? Discussed it a little earlier, but yeah, that CBGB, heebie-jeebie marijuana, got that stuff in there, that herb. That's the best thing that has been thrown around there, hands down. One person, let arts live. I'm sorry. He put smoke weed. Yeah. There you go. Either smoke it directly or rub the cannabis infused hand cream on there. It's either way, smoking it or rubbing the cream, best thing for you. Hands down. No need to ask that question to anyone else. That's the way to do her. Let's see, we are here. We're at the end. 2 questions. Wow, I've never seen anybody use a different font in their name. These are not really questions, but Rick Cleveland says, are ye a wizard? And Curtis Chavez wrote underneath his, says, he's Groovy the White. He's leveled up. And finally, that's just a comment from Scott Wyatt. Says, get the funk out. Okay, so thanks for all the questions, kids. That's been fun. And again, if you guys are interested in seeing some live streams, which I'll do a video about anyway, separate video, just so people could see it in the title. Let me know. Okay. Again, just gotten a live stream a couple days ago, and it's posted on Ed Dana's channel. And I was just happened to be in bed and saw he was online, and just happened to get live somehow. And he put it out, and I'm just laying there in bed, and my beard's up halfway over my face like this. At least it wasn't smell-o-vision. But anyway, you guys stay groovy, and if we do the live streams, we can answer questions all the time, just easy that way, and show guitar stuff, what have you, anything you can come up with, if it's something you would like to do. And like I had mentioned earlier, I'm flipping broke, and that's an easy way I hear to bring in some quick little donations for $2 or $5 type of thing. So hey, there's an ulterior motive as well. I ain't gonna lie. So anyway, thanks you guys for doing all the questions and stuff and asking those, and thanks to me for answering them. I didn't know if I was going to get them done by the end of the month like I thought I might, but by golly, we did her. Okay, took 4 videos to do it all in one day, but that was only because of the limited size of the hard drive and the camera. So you guys stay groovy, and as always, I am always groovy, and we'll talk to you very soon, and I'll get on a lot of these lessons that you guys are asking me to put up on here as well. Okay? Bye-bye.